Joshua Clark, the man, the myth, the legend. Is that what we're going to get about?
Dude.
I didn't want to show that you were putting words in my mouth, so I was going to wait a second here. Now, Josh, I met you when I was working at the newspaper, The Independent, and Ozark Mountain Newspapers, because I write for the 3 publications there, and you have, since you went to the Tri-Lakes News, is that what it was called? Tri-Lakes News?
Tri-Lakes Tribune.
Tri-Lakes Tribune.
Right.
And then you came over here to the Branson Daily News. You went from sports, which you were a great sports writer. I really enjoyed reading your, now I know that, well, I guess my first question is, I'm going to go hardcore here.
Right on.
Is it hard to be a Saints fan in Missouri?
Actually, well, it has been, yeah, but not this past year. Since they won the Super Bowl, it was quite.
Right.
And plus, the Rams and the Chiefs are really bad. Yeah, or at least they were. Kansas City's doing much better this year, and the Rams are on the upswing. So,
you just lost audience. That's okay because you're moving.
That's right. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But I'll be back to visit. I always end up coming back.
Yeah. And your show reviews, it was interesting kind of moving from sports to show reviews. I think that you added something new to the news.
The cool part about that is that I had an in with the entertainment community in town, because my brother, of course, is one of the Blues Brothers at Legends.
Right.
So I knew those guys, and through him, I met people like Bill Medley and people like Paul Revere and some of the comments. And then through those people, I met other people. I used to come up here and work during the summer when I was in high school and in college. So I worked at Gilly's restaurant washing dishes for a couple of years. I waited tables and tended bar and stuff like that. So I got to know him. So when I came over here, I started making phone calls, and one thing led to another, and I was really welcomed with open arms to a lot of places in town. So yeah.
Do you ever? I'm just curious because I don't get a chance to talk to you too often. You're a busy guy, and but do you ever? Is it a guilty pleasure to read my blog sometimes?
It is. I actually love it because you say what we can't say, because you have no one. You can put it out there.
Yeah.
We have there's so many different people that I have to answer to.
Yeah.
That we as a newspaper have to answer to. But you, on the other hand, you are the quintessential guerrilla journalist. If something's going on, I turn around and there's Darren.
Right.
So yeah, man. But since a lot of people don't read the newspaper, I think it's a good thing that we have. Truth needs to be out there, man.
Yeah, and tell me something. Then that has to be a hard thing for you because you're an honest guy.
Right. It is, man. But when it comes to stuff like that, it's better to not even address it and just take it and pretend like it doesn't exist. You get watch a lot of TV, of course, movies and stuff like that. Got a courtroom setting. Lawyer tries to introduce evidence. Defense stands up, talks to the judge. The judge will not admit the evidence in the court, and the jury's supposed to pretend that it doesn't exist. Take that and put it out of your mind. That's basically what I have to do.
Is that healthy for the community, though?
As a whole, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just for the simple fact that there are a lot of things that go on that people don't know about, and this is a small town.
Yeah.
So I think that they try to keep as much stuff in-house because they don't want the tourists. They don't want the tourists and the guests to realize that we have the same problems as
everyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And cities that are 4 and 5 times our size don't have the problems that we have, because we're a city of what is it, 3,600 people, something like that. Is that what Branson is?
I think. Well, there's going to be a new count. I don't know what. I want to say 7,000.
Really?
Yeah.
But at any given time, you've got double, triple, quadruple that amount of people here in town, depending upon what time of the year it is. So those people we don't want those people to know our dirty laundry.
Right.
It's all sunshine and blue skies and all that stuff. And I guess I would be willing to say that you would have the same problems like if you lived in Orlando. Because you've got Disney down there.
Yeah.
So they don't want any doom and gloom and all that. It's the happiest place on earth.
Right.
So that's what they want to keep. And I think it's the same way here. That's why they don't want gambling here.
Yeah.
They want to have that wholesome image.
Sure.
Several years ago, Vegas, their ad campaign was all about family.
Right.
You saw people walking up and down the strip holding balloons and riding the roller coasters and all that stuff.
Right.
And that's all fine and good. But they were trying to get a different demographic because they already had the adults who would come to gamble and hang out and stuff like that. Whereas here, we've already got the family. So there's people who live here that go to Vegas to gamble. And I remember the big thing here being, well, why would we need casinos when Vegas is trying to get away from that? And it's not that they were trying to get away from it; they were just trying to bring more people in. And there's going to come a day when right across the border in Arkansas, they're going to get gambling.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a swing. You're going to see Eureka Springs blow up and do what Branson has wanted to do for a while.
What's the hardest story or hardest case of censorship that you've had working through all the newspapers?
Oh, censorship? I wouldn't say that I've been censored as much as, well, I mean, of course, the Nelly thing. I mean, we had to be real careful about what we could write as far as interjecting our opinions into things. And, you know, Mindy and I both, like, I took it from an entertainment point of view, and Mindy really took it from that hard news point of view. You know, she talked to Dunn several times. She was at all the city meetings, and she did all that. But it was very interesting because it all depended on who you listened to. It all depended upon what you wanted to believe. And that was probably the trickiest thing, because you don't want to piss anybody off. Can I say piss?
Yeah, you can say it. You can say whatever you want.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, because you don't want to piss anybody off, you know, especially people that are in the higher up, you know, the city of Branson. I mean, you know, that's what you have to deal with. We deal with them on a daily basis here.
Right.
So you don't want to piss anybody off, but at the same time, you don't want to not tell the truth.
Right.
And you don't want to, more importantly, you don't want to insult the intelligence of your readers.
Right.
And I will say that my editor and my publisher have been really good as far as my editorial goes. And to let me say, hey, look, I was not offended by this, I was not offended by that. And it's kind of funny because the whole Nelly deal, about 3 months before Nelly, 2 months before Nelly came, I saw Vicki Lawrence. Wrote an editorial about Vicki Lawrence. Now, she used some words that were, I mean, she was making jokes about her carpet matching her drapes.
Okay.
And she was telling stories about gynecologists, and she used words like shit and damn and hell and ass and stuff like that. Stuff that you can say on primetime TV after the hour of 9 o'clock.
Right.
Okay? I wrote my editorial.
Yeah.
I wrote that she was bawdy, she used adult language, you know, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I sat next to several people from Silver Dollar City and several entertainers on this side. And everybody laughed and everybody had a great time.
Yeah.
Well, after I wrote that in my editorial, I got several emails from people who were upset at me.
Yeah.
Not because Vicki Lawrence said what she said, but because I said that I enjoyed it and I was not offended by it. So it's really a strange, I mean, somebody who wasn't even at the show was offended because I said that I wasn't offended. It's kind of a, it's kind of a tightrope.
Is that kind of hypocritical for someone to criticize something they didn't see?
It is. It is, because by not going to the show, you're showing where you stand right there.
Right.
So, yeah, man, I mean, don't get offended just because somebody told you something. You know, just like the people who got pissed because Nelly said fuck you to the city of Branson.
Right.
You know, if you weren't there at the show and you didn't see the context, it's not like he came out and said fuck Mayor Presley and fuck this. And no, he didn't. He came out and he said, I want to thank everybody for supporting us, everybody that came out. And for those that didn't want us here, fuck you, we're here now.
Right. And he also said after that, whether you're from St. Louis or Springfield, we're all from Missouri, as a sense of unity to people. And that, I felt bad about that because I focused on the F word. And I understand there was some people that said that before here at the amphitheater.
Oh, yeah. Well, but actually that was after, and that was Buddy Guy, you know, and the strange thing about it is nobody batted an eye. Nelly said the F word one time. Yeah. Now, of course, he said it during the songs and stuff like that, but, you know, that's during a song. Like, Buddy Guy stopped the show and told the crowd that we fucked up worse than a group of Japanese people when he played Manish Boy in Japan. And everybody laughed. Everybody thought it was great. The only complaint that I heard was someone had brought their children. And they were like, well, we don't think that it's supposed to, you know, we don't think that we should have to listen to this. Well, if you would do your homework about the blues, you would know. I mean, my God, you can't listen to it. Those blues songs just drip with double entendre.
Yes.
She's my little angel. I love how she spreads her wings. Come on, man. What's he talking? I mean, we all know what he's talking about. But yet people didn't bat an eye because it was two old blues legends, two rock